time for another Dirt Daily, and today I'm introducing to you my latest project vehicle that I brought home. And by project vehicle, I mean this thing's kind of a pile, but, well, let's dive right into it. This is a 1994 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ80. So this thing is a little rough. It has bad paint. It has a bad dash. It's filthy inside. Covered in cobwebs, probably full of black widow spiders. But I really like these Land Cruisers. This is the last of the solid axle, front solid axle Toyota Land Cruiser that you could get in America. And it's kind of a cool truck. It has a straight six engine, coil spring suspension front and rear. And I actually had one of these a while back. We did a cheap truck challenge, a long time ago. And I bought a 1993 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ80. And well, first of all, what is the FJ80? So Toyota's been making Land Cruisers for a long, long time. And through the years, they had the FJ40, the FJ55. You might have remembered the 55. Dave had one on Dirt Every Day that was kind of a station wagon looking thing. Then they had a FJ60, an FJ62, which was very similar to the 60, but it had square headlights, where the 62 had square headlights, the 60 had round headlights. And then in around 1990, they developed the FJ80. And this was a really great truck. Body on frame, coil spring suspension all around, front and rear solid axles, straight six engine. In America, automatic transmission. I know in other parts of the country or the world, you could get diesels and manual transmissions. I'm not like a cruiser head, so I don't know a ton about Land Cruisers, but I had one of these before and they're pretty beefy. And I met a guy years and years ago he would lead like overland tours across northern Africa. He was from Spain, and he always said that the FJ80 was his favorite truck to take on those trips because they're rugged, they take a lot of abuse, they are simple to work on, and they're really well built. So I had one and I sold it. Actually, Dave and I both had FJ80s and we both sold them, and we've always kind of regretted selling these trucks. So funny story, I found this one. And so what I did was I was driving around one day out in the country and I saw this FJ80 sitting in the front yard of a house, and it had grass growing up around it. It kind of looked like the tires were getting flat and the paint was getting faded, which is fine. I was like, maybe, like, they're pretty good trucks. Maybe it's a good project. So this is what I did. First of all, I figured out the address of the location. And I did that just by like leaving a pin. I think I found it by looking at the mailbox. It had the house number, and then I wrote down this house and street number. Then I got on this app that I use called OnX Off-Road. And I've talked about this app before. This is a great app for finding off-road trails. But if you buy like the Premier membership, then you can also click on properties and find out who owns that property. So I have used this a couple times where like I found a truck that I thought would be a cool truck. I kind of see it off on the side of the road. It's kind of sitting behind a barn. use OnX to find out. You click on the property if you have like the Premier membership, and you can find out who owns that property. Now, one thing it does is it has a mailing address where you can mail off a letter. I've done that in the past. Another thing that it has is just by using the name of the person that owns that property, you can go to Facebook. So what I did was I searched on Facebook for this property owner, and it turned out that they knew somebody that I knew because it has like mutual friends on Facebook. So I got a hold of the person that I know and said, hey, do you know this person? They've got an old truck sitting in their front yard and I'm interested in it. My friend reached out to them. They said, yeah, he can call me. I got a hold of him, went and looked at the thing. It was a pile, and I bought it anyways because I'm a sucker, and because at that point the owner was like, yeah, make me an offer. And I made him an offer that I thought was reasonable. I didn't pay a lot. I didn't pay a little. I paid kind of in the middle, and they were like, yeah, sure, we'll take it. This thing has been sitting for 7 years, full of cobwebs, does not run, which is kind of dumb because I can't even get the thing on and off the trailer without winching it on and off the trailer, but that's fine. I got it on the trailer. In fact, honestly, it helped me because I've had a winch that I've been wanting to mount on my trailer, and I've been putting it off, and then I had a reason that I had to mount the winch. So I got my winch mounted on my trailer. I went and picked the thing up, did all the paperwork, title's in the mail. Now I got to figure out how to make it run. And then what am I going to do with it? I really liked my old Land Cruiser. I probably should have kept it because I had done a bunch of cool stuff to it. This one has a lot of miles, 327,000 miles. That's a lot of miles, but it's a Land Cruiser. It should keep running for a while. It's kind of beat up inside and dirty and gross, but that's fine. It's not going to be a pristine restoration rig. And I have good friends that are into Land Cruisers and know info about them. So whatever I can't figure out, I know the right people to talk to. This thing has an automatic transmission, has a lever activated transfer case, but that also has full-time four-wheel drive. So the lever activation is only from high range to low range. It does not have lockers. Some of these had lockers, and those are the really cool ones to get. I was crossing my fingers that this one would have it. Instead, I got a really busted up old dash. But one of my favorite things about this thing, look at the headliner. The headliner is not falling down. It has a sunroof and it has a good headliner. I hate buying a pile of junk old truck and the headliner's kind of like, I will deal with gross carpet, nasty seats. Dropping headliner is so annoying because it's a whole bunch of work to try and fix it, and it's not really ever worth it. So, brand new Land Cruiser project, kind of a pile of junk, but I don't care. It's going to be a fun one. I'm going to get this thing running with the help of some help from my friends, and figure out if it needs more than just, I'm hoping it's like a fuel pump or a fusible link or something silly. Is this going to be a dirt everyday project? Can't tell you. Can't really tell you right now because we haven't really put it on the list, but it's a cool truck and I know a lot of people dig it, but I also don't want to like totally make it into a 40s and tons rig. I kind of like it as just like a basic beater, daily driver, coffee getter, dog hauler, camping exploration truck. So that's the latest on my new project. This is a FJ, it's actually an FZJ80, because there was two different engines that you could get in the 80 series, and in about 93 they came up, they started the 80 in like 90, and about 93 they offered this newer engine that was better, and this one's a 94, which is cool because it also has a full floating rear axle. So it has like a spindle and a hub and an axle shaft that bolts to the hub. So overall, pretty good truck. I guess that's about it on this. I will give you guys updates as I get further down the road with it. Hopefully I can get the thing running, and I will show you exactly what I have to do to make it run. That's it for this Dirt Daily. We'll see you guys next time.